Ateneo de Iloilo, Santa Maria Catholic School.
Hi, I'm AdI.
I'm Monique.
And I'm Christa.
And this is a project called Testing Homemade Ant Repellents.
And that's just about it.
In partial fulfillment
Of the requirements in Science for
Ateneo de Iloilo, Santa Maria Catholic School,
Under Engineer Herman Lago, PhD.
And that's just about it.
We're doing this because we would like to pass our senior year.
to go to college,
and to do something meaningful with our lives.
Our proposal, mobile solar cell-phone charger, is not accepted because the materials needed are too expensive and we won't have enough time in order to fulfill this project.
And our project proposal for a magnet-generated alarm clock was rejected because Sir H told us perpetual motion was not possible.
we chose this project because the ingredients were readily available at home and the procedures were easy to do.
Ants are one of the most common insects in the world. They can be found anywhere because they build their homes in the ground, in wood, even in our houses. Now they're more common in warmer climates, and they live in very large colonies, numbering to the thousands, even to the tens of thousands and to the millions. Now the ants live on food they gather from outside their houses. What they do is they send out worker ants to search for food, and once these ants find food, they go back to the colony, leaving a trail of pheromones behind. The other ants pick up this trail and they keep going back and forth between the food source and the colony until they gather all of the food. Now, if the food trail is in your house, this can be a nuisance because ants will be all over the place. This is a problem for many of us, and so we decided to find out if we could find a cheap way to repel ants so that they may be kept away from our houses and our food stores. The aim of this study is to create an ant repellent that is cheap and easy to make for everyone to use, so that we can all be rid of our pesky ant problems.
This is our statement of the problem. The investigators will study the effectiveness of the produced ant repellent. The study aims to look at the time it takes for the ants to react and how they may react to the repellent. As a minor aim, we want to see if the produced repellent is safe for human use. In the end, the main question will still be, is the ant repellent cheaper than those in today's market? In view of the preceding problem, the following hypotheses are advanced. The mixture ingredients used in the repellent will produce more immediate the results of the repellent effect individually. The mixture of the ingredients used will not just repel but affect the ants more than the ingredients used separately.
The investigators aim to create an ant repellent that will be more effective than homemade ingredients. Investigators believe that the study will be beneficial to the following: the community because it would mean cheaper and effective alternatives for the public. The future investigators will be able to improve more studies of which we are able to finish. The investigators only seek to cover the effectiveness of household ingredients which are supposed to make good repellents, and the mixture made using those repellents. The testing will cover the reaction time of the test subject to the repellent and their mixture. Based on our research, we found out that the following materials repelled ants: pepper, citrus oil, and cinnamon. But we only used the ingredients: vinegar and salt. And powder.
In this project, we made use of two kinds of ants, local black ants and local red ants. We used the red ants more because they were more abundant and so ready for use in the testing. So obviously we baited the ants into a trap. As you can see here, not many are present, but the investigation was made possible because the collection of ants was done in the morning.
Our first setup was to test how ants would react on the repellent. First we placed their ants here and their repellents here and did like that. We observed that the ants never got near to the repellents and stayed on the top of the jar. In our second setup, we drew a small circle to which the repellents were placed here. Beside the small circle, we placed a bigger circle to test the reaction time of the ants and how fast they would react and leave the circle.
Note that the setups we used during the actual experiment was more precise than the one you see here.
So I'm here with you now in this lab gown because we learned that the other groups have worn at least once a lab gown in their video. At least 2 groups, and we were jealous. But more to the point, we found out that after the experiment, both our hypotheses were correct. The first one, which states that the more ingredient we use, the better the results, was confirmed to be true.
You can see here in these tables that the reaction time of the ants to the repellent used is greatly reduced when a whole tablespoon is used instead of half a tablespoon of the repellent ingredient. As you can see, the reaction to salt went down by about 4 seconds. Meanwhile, for talc powder, the average reaction time went down for 3 seconds. Well, about 3 seconds. And finally, for vinegar, the reaction time average went down 2 seconds.
And the second one, which states that when the repellents are combined, they produce a better result when they are tested individually, is also a go.
Finally, in this last table, you can see that the repellent ingredients combined also produce a good ant-repelling mixture, because the reaction times we recorded have an average of about 1.71 seconds, which is close to the average reaction time of a whole teaspoon of vinegar, 1.07 seconds.
So, with that in mind, we would like to show you how we made the combined ant repellent.
So what we basically did was find a container or you could stuff in all of the 3 ingredients. As you can see, they make a very coarse mixture on their own. So we decided to shake it off, I guess. What we actually did was pretty simple. As you can see here, all we did was put the ingredients in a small spray bottle, unused and empty, that we found. And then we decided to shake the ingredient into a mixture. And so here is our complete repellent. Now to test its spraying abilities, we would like you to take heed of this warning, for the stench is very good. We confirmed this as a success. What you see now is a bunch of ants being held up from continuing their line because we sprayed our repellent over the surface. As you can see, the ants are gathering at a certain spot because they cannot pass through where the repellent was applied. And that's just about it.
Ta-da! And this concludes our experiment.
We would like to thank
Jonathan Luxian for providing us with useful information. Juancho Morente.
And Rafael Tupas for filming our video.
And Sir H.
for allowing us to do this experiment. Wikipedia and Google Images for providing us with the pictures you see in this video. And also Adrian Cordero for helping us film. We also thank our parents for allowing us to do this project. Lastly, we thank God for our success.
And finally,
you!
And that's just about it.
Adi.
I'm Monique.
And I'm Christa.
Ah?
This is our statement of the
The investigators aim to create an antipellant that will be more effective than homemade ingredients. The investigators believe that the study I did!
Walk with your head. Ang tamboy.
Ka-record niyo ba lang?
Shoot.
Ayun.